Senator Bongbong, let's talk about social media.
All right.
Noong 2021, ang year in review, yun ang tawag nila, report ng Pornhub, isang online adult video streaming website. Sabi dito, ang mga Pinoy daw spend 11 minutes and 30 seconds watching porn, making the Philippines top one, beating Japan and France. At saka ngayon, some of the known media sites, apps, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook groups ay ginagawa ng alternative porn sites. This is a story about this young American songwriter, singer, Billie Eilish. In an interview, she revealed that 11 years old, she was exposed to porn. Hanggang naging addict siya sa porn. She was addicted to porn. And she hooked up with multiple sex partners thinking that it was normal because yun ang kanyang napapanood. And she thought that sex was violent because yun ang kanyang napapanood paulit-ulit. She revealed, in her words, porn destroyed my brain. I was devastated. I had nightmares. I suffered from sleep paralysis. My mental health was damaged. Last December, she turned 20 and she is on the road to recovery with the help of family and the community and a lot of experts. My question is this, hypothetical, nalaman at nakonfirm mo na ang iyong menor de edad na anak is addicted to cyber porn. Ano ang iyong gagawin, number one, bilang magulang? At ano ang magiging pulisiya mo pagdating sa welfare and protection of children?
Well, I happen to have approached this problem. Talagang pinag-isipan namin mag-asawa ito. Kasi alam naman natin na we hear of these stories that you have read out. At kinausap namin yung mga anak namin. And to understand, so they understand that this is not normal. Maybe you'll find it entertaining, especially with all your hormones raging as a teenager. But this is not real life, and this shows for you to indulge in all of that shows a little bit of a lack of self-worth. Because sa palagay mo, pwede rin ako dyan, pwede ko rin gawin yan, ganyan pala ang tao, ganyan ang ginagawa ng normal na tao. But what is being done while you're watching pornography is violence against whoever is involved. It's a form of violence. And that is why we are lucky that we have been able to have that talk with our children when they were younger. And I hope that other people will take that example na kausapin ng ating mga kabataan na para ipaliwanag, hindi naman talaga totoo yan. Pero pwede mo yun, pagtatawanan kayo, tignan natin yan, that's okay, that's fine. Pero yung sasabihin mo, eto talaga, it's been normalized. We have the same problem with violence. There's too much violence on people in games. People think that that's normal, that people go around shooting everybody. Or in the case of pornography, that people go around doing the things that they see in pornographic films. And so it really, again, is a social problem. And the parents have to be involved in this and in explaining that this is harmful. We have to, the parent, teachers are involved. All of the mentors of children have to tell them, have to explain to them that this is not the way we live.
How will you put it into policy as president of the country?
Oh, that is very, very difficult because that is something that really comes not from government. Government has very little control over what is put over the internet.
But this is the internet and social media.
Yes, that's the problem. That's the problem. You cannot stop the internet, and you cannot turn it off. Perhaps if you were China, but then because they've closed off all kinds of portals. But it's not something that the government can legislate. I don't believe that the government can legislate. It's a social problem that needs to be dealt with at the social level, at the familial level, at the teacher level, and also we expose them to what we think are normal and what we think that they should emulate, and say, this is what, ito yung gagayahin ninyo. Ito yung mga magagaling, ito yung masisipag, ito yung mababait. Huwag yung mga kalukuhan na
How much can government do?
Only so much, but you can make sure that, for example, that sex education classes are done properly in school, that it's taught in a way that young kids can understand. The other problem about pornography that is, for me, might be even a little more worrying is the source of child pornography. We are always cited as one of the largest sources of child pornography. This for me is the most reprehensible crime that is possible to commit. It's maybe...
What will you do with it? Dahil ito'y laganap ito, Senador.
Dahil
Ginagamit ang mga bata para pagkakitaan ng pera.
Sinasaktan mo yung bata eh. It's the same thing as hitting a child. It's the same thing as
Or even worse.
Possibly even worse because yung bali ng buto, gumagaling yan. Pero pagka yung sinabak mo yung maliit na bata as ginamit mo for child pornography, ay hindi na mawawala sa pag-iisip nila yan. So this is a terrible problem.
What would you do as president?
Habulin natin silang lahat. I'm sure that we have enough IT people, we have enough technical people who can find where all of this is coming from. There is also another root problem. Walang pinagkikitaan yung magulang.
At kadalasan ang magulang involved sa ganitong klaseng negosyo.
Yun ang pinakamalupit sa lahat. Nakikita natin yung mga nahuhuli, nandyan yung nanay. At alam nila yung nangyayari. Kaya siguro, how did we also, as if we're public servants, if we're leaders, tanong din natin, how did they get to that state na ibebenta nila yung anak nila para sa ganyang klaseng gawain?
Let's talk about social media. Pag-usapan natin ang internet, specifically, cyber pornography. Noong 2021, Year in Review report ng Pornhub, isang online adult video streaming website. Sabi dito, ang mga Pinoy daw, spend 11 minutes, 30 seconds watching porn, making the Philippines top 1. Talo natin ang France at saka ang Japan. Some of the known social media sites, apps, Twitter, Snapchat, ngayon ay ginagamit na minsan. And some Facebook groups are being used as alternative porn sites. May kwento lamang ako, dalawa. Mabilis na lamang to. Si Billie Eilish is a young...
singer.
Yeah, American singer-songwriter. She's 20 years old. She turned 20 actually last year. Ang kwento niya, in an interview last year, sabi niya, 11 years old, I got exposed to pornography. Pagkatapos daw ay na-addict siya sa porn. And then, may mga pagkakataon na ang kanyang napapanood ay ang akala niya normal. So she was hooking up with multiple sex partners dahil yun ang kanyang napapanood. In her words, sabi niya, my brain was destroyed. I felt devastated. She had nightmares.
At 11 years old, may access siya?
Meron. Sleep paralysis, and then her mental health was damaged. Last year, she turned 20 nga, sabi ko kanina, now she's on the road to recovery. Tanong, at ito'y hypothetical. Nalaman mo at na-confirm mo nang yung menor de edad na anak ay addicted to cyber pornography. Bilang magulang, ano ang gagawin mo? At bilang presidente, kung ikay papalari ng Pilipinas, paano mo ito itatawid sa iyong polisiya on the welfare and protection of children?
Okay. Well, as a parent, you always talk to your children and be reasonable to them. And try to explain them the gravity of the situation, especially kung minor de edad. No? That is the job of being a parent to your children. Wala namang perfectong magulang, wala namang perfectong pamilya, but at the very least that you can do is really talk and try to be sensible to your children. But as a leader, alam mo, Tito, mapalad ako nakapag-aral-aral ako kung saan-saan. Ako, nababahala na more than the porn, another problem with us is yung masyado ng palasak, yung social media, abuse, no? Words, sinasabi mo nga ngayon, pati social media ginagamit na as porn site. I'll teach them a very good lesson. This social media company, I'll make them responsible because nagiging outlet yung kanilang mga sites. I'll make them responsible. That all those accounts must be real. Alam mo, may plano talaga akong ganyan na papapanagutin natin yung mga pinagbabaliwala lamang ng mga social media companies na to. It destroys our country. It destroys society. It destroyed already a country and countries because of this pagbabaliwala. Now, and technically, I'll block their IP address. I'll make the ICT as a powerful agency to go after to this corporation, to go after to this website, and so on and so forth. Then, I'll start talking to, for example, let's just say GCash, Paymaya, FinTech, or even credit cards, banking system. Kasi para nung mapanood mo yan, kailangan mo magbayad. So there are so many things that we can do technically. And we'll go after them because I do believe it's an issue. An issue to a person, an issue to a family. And it has to be addressed by the state.
Okay, I heard you. But you're aware na ang isang 12-year-old child can actually get into an app by faking all the requirements.
Yes.
Doon yung sinasabi mo na, go ahead.
Yeah, yun yung sinasabi ko na dapat pag kumukuha ng account, no? Pag naggagawa ng account, let's just say para sa mga manonood natin, pinakamadali na siguro. Pag kukuha ka ng Facebook account, you have to submit the data to prove that you are Boy Abunda, picture of Boy Abunda, data of Boy Abunda being submitted before you created an account. Hindi yung 5-5 email lang, 5-5 cellphone numbers lang, pwede ka na magkaroon ng
Mayor,
account.
you give this to the platform.
Of course, you have
give
to
them the
agree.
platform.
You have to agree. Hindi ka naman nila pipilitin na to sign up eh.
Nung sinasabi mong, I will hold these platforms responsible,
Yes.
ginagawa yun ng maraming bayan, di ba? Nakita natin si Zuckerberg, for example, in the US
I saw it.
Congressional.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
How
they
do
were
you do
making-
that in the Philippines para makipag-usap at makipagharapan sa'yo?
Eh, pag hindi nila ginawa, di block ko IP address nila.
Okay.
Wala na silang negosyo sa Pilipinas. Di ba? I'd
Hindi
love...
kaya magalit sa'yo ang tao?
Well, hindi naman to Mr. and Mrs. Congeniality.
Okay.
Leadership is all about protecting your people, proteksyonan mo mamamayan mo, unahin mo tao mo. Yun nasa sakupan mo. That's how you define yourself. There are things on what you call them, madalas mo kung marinig dito, maasim man na suka, kailangan mong inumin. Ganun ang pagiging leader. Kaya ka inilalagay para pamahalaanan mo ang tao.
But isn't that a bit too extreme? Ito ang problema na maliit. Alam din natin lahat ang magagandang bagay na dulot ng social media.
Well, it creates jobs. Kung wala ka namang masamang intensyon, kung wala ka namang masamang balak, nothing to worry. Diba? For example, Boy Abunda, check. Blue. ISKO Moreno, blue. Confirm account. You cannot just, eto, Tito Boy, bago maubos yung oras. What if I created a Boy Abunda account and I posted something there? Can you be held liable? It's not you. See, that's the problem. So it creates more problem than benefits. And we know for a fact, it destroyed a country already at some portion of this world.
There is actually a fake Boy Abunda account.
See?
I've written to Facebook to complain many times over. Walang ginawa.
Exactly. Sino tatakbuhan mo? Ang leader, ang estado, ang bansang kinabibilangan mo. Dapat katabi.
Let's talk about social media. Ito naman, pag-usapan natin ang internet at ang social media. Pero dito tayo, VP LENI, pumunta. I want to talk about pornography. 2021 Year in Review Report ng Pornhub. Isang online adult video streaming website sa internet. Sabi dito, ang mga Pinoy spend 11 minutes 30 seconds watching porn, making the Philippines top 1 na lampasan ho natin dito ang Japan at ang France. Some of the known social media sites, apps, ang Twitter ho ngayon, medyo nagiging source na rin ng porn, Snapchat, and may mga Facebook groups na are being used as alternative porn site. Si Billie Eilish is an American Grammy Award-winning songwriter, singer, 11 years old. She got exposed to porn, she got addicted, she indulged in sex, multiple partners, and yun ang naging standard Akala niya violent ang sex. And in her words, porn destroyed her brain. She felt devastated. She had nightmares, sleep paralysis. My mental health, ika niya, was damaged. Last December, she turned 20, si Billie Eilish. Kilala to ng mga bata. And she's now on the road to recovery. Tanong, nalaman at na-confirm mo, hypothetical ito, VP Leni, nalaman at na-confirm mo na ang iyong anak ay addicted to cyber porn. Bilang magulang, ano ang gagawin mo? At bilang presidente, again, because you're applying for the highest position of the land, bilang presidente, paano ito makakaapekto sa iyong pulisiya on the welfare and protection of children?
Ako number one bilang nanay. Bilang nanay, ang pinaka-priority ko, gumaling yung anak ko. Kasi sakit siya eh. Gumaling yung anak ko, sisiguraduhin ko na tatanda siya na hindi niya dala-dala yung trauma galing doon sa pinagdaanan niya. Pero bilang presidente, ang dami kong pwedeng gawin. Yung isang wala sa atin ngayon, boy, wala tayong batas na nagsisik to make accountable etong mga social media sites. Ang gustong sabihin, kung anong ilalabas sa Facebook, kung anong ilalabas sa Twitter, kung anong ilalabas sa YouTube, whether porn yan, whether fake news, wala tayong control. So para sa akin, kailangan magkaroon tayo ng batas. Kinicriminalize natin. Pinipinalize natin yung mga social media sites for them to be accountable and to be responsible. Na hindi dapat to accessible sa mga tao na wala pa siyang kahandaan mag-process. And in this case, yung example mo, mga bata na na-addict, na nagiging addicted to that because it's accessible. So dapat maging accountable, dapat maging responsible yung mga social media sites. Sisiguraduhin nila na yung content accessible lang sa mga tao na kayang ma-digest yung content na yun.
Pero may responsibility dito ang magulang.
Merong responsibility ang magulang. Kaya nga...
In the discussion about access to the sites.
Kaya nga ako, boy, ang paniniwala ko talaga, lahat, hindi lang dito sa isyong ito, pero ang paniniwala ko talaga sa lahat na pinaka-susi para maganda yung operationalization saka implementation ng mga policy, lagi talaga siyang pinagtutulungan ng mga community.
Okay, I get that. Yung sinasabi niyo pong control, isn't that censorship?
Hindi yung censure, hindi
I mean, you're talking about control, di ba? You're talking about control. Isn't that...
Pero yung sa akin, hindi control, pero ginagawa mo silang accountable. Na dapat sila ay sinisiguro nila na yung mga lalabas sa kanilang social media platform ay ang makaka-access nun yung mga tao na tama na yung mental, saka psychological, saka...
Can that be legislated?
Yes, it
I
can.
mean, knowing...
Actually, ito yung pinaglalaban ngayon ni Maria Ressa. Ito yung content na pinaglalaban niya after she won, even before she won the Nobel Peace Prize, na yung social media platforms have been abused in many varied ways already. In many countries...
But you have to address the abuses because napakarami rin ng magandang nagawa ng social media sa kanang internet.
Kaya nga abuse siya kasi dapat sana, di ba dapat sana yung social media maganda yung naidulot niya sa atin kasi bigla na lang that the world has become so small na everything is in our grasp. Pero dapat kasi inaayos natin yung accountability. Accountability ng mga tao, saka mga organisasyon, saka mga negosyo, na merong control sa content na nilalabas nila. Ang gusto ko sabihin...
That's why yung control sa content, to me, it's a bit, it's bordering on, doesn't it border on censorship?
Pero sa akin kasi, boy...
Doesn't that infringe into the freedom of...
It depends on how the law will be passed. What the version of the law will be passed.
How would it be in your administration?
Pero sa akin, boy, mas sisiguraduhin ko na halimbawa, merong porn sa aking site, hindi siya accessible sa mga bata. So, ako hindi ako digital person, Pero I'm sure there should be a way. Kasi ngayon naman, meron na mga apps, di ba? Meron na ngayon mga apps na yung mga magulang can control what their children can access. So it should be it should be a collaboration between the social media platforms, the families, schools, pati yung pamahalaan. So it is very doable.
It's doable within a certain period of time. Pero ngayon pag tiningnan mo kasi, VP, ang social media ecosystem, where would you start?
Saka hindi siya static.
Okay.
Di ba? Yung social media of 10 years ago is so different from the social media
today.
now. So dapat talaga, boy, yung batas ay hindi din static. Dapat sinasabayan niya yung demands of the time. Pero ang klaro dapat sa isip ng mga legislators na ang pinaka-primary purpose is the protection of the people.
Especially children.
Especially.